Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back for another video, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a kind of overhaul of the entire crypto market. We're going to be talking about what's going on, the direction the market is likely to continue moving in. And this is really a video. I don't care if this video gets lots of views. This is a video for the people that really need to hear it. There's a lot of uncertainty in the crypto space. Mainly because of the kind of people who speak on the subject. Things can be quite confusing to kind of understand, and if you're not technically sort of minded and you've not dealt with charts and stuff like that before, it can be quite complicated to kind of get your head around. This is going to be a simple video. This is for the subs out there that follow me continuously, that may have some doubts or kind of fears surrounding the crypto market. I am here to reassure everybody. You've got to bear in mind, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. However, the sole purpose of this channel is to try and make sure as little people as possible do not miss out on an opportunity that is going to essentially give you a bit of a break in life. The reason that this channel is here essentially, guys, is because I actually would like, I don't care if it's one person, 100 people, 1,000, 1,000,000 people, to catch a break. Life can suck at times. Life is great as well, but everybody could do with a bit of a break. And I think that cryptocurrencies present a absolutely fantastic opportunity for people out there who perhaps live month to month or don't have a lot of money to actually potentially gain some sort of financial stability and freedom. And I actually think that cryptocurrencies could be a way to do that. So what we're going to do in this video, guys, is we are going to take a look at the overall crypto market, and the best way for us to do that is look at Bitcoin. It's been a while since we've touched on the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. We're going to take a look at that and really, show where we are today and what's to come, guys. For those of you who don't know, I follow something called the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. It's essentially how this market works. The market works in a cycle, or certainly has up until this point, and in my opinion is going to continue to do so, certainly till next year. We're going to be breaking that down and keeping that very simple. And we're going to, of course, take a look at Bitcoin, what Bitcoin's doing and what it's likely to do. I think there is a big move for not only Bitcoin, but the entire crypto market coming. We're focusing on Bitcoin. I think the market's gained like nearly $200 billion in this space, or 100 and I can't remember what the exact figure was. Between 150 and $200 billion in like the past 2 days has actually flown into this market. I want to start with an opening kind of statement that I often compare cryptocurrencies to the internet in terms of, well, certainly not cryptocurrencies, but blockchain technology to the internet. The biggest hotel service out there is a protocol. The biggest taxi company out there is also a protocol technology. This is the way the entire world is moving, guys. I know they're not ran on blockchain, but in my opinion, they will eventually be ran on some form of blockchain application. When the internet first came about, it was largely ignored. Nobody really understood it, so people didn't really get involved in it. Nobody, when the internet first came out, said, wow. There was a few, but the majority of people had their already existing business models and didn't then adjust for the internet. What then eventually happened was, as the internet grew and more people started to use it and it got more developed, you could do more things on it, etc., etc., etc. And as technology as a whole got more sort of advanced, people then started to pay attention. And nowadays it's to the point where if you aren't sort of internet savvy and you don't have a website or you don't have internet accessibility, you probably aren't going to do very well as a business, certainly in the Western world and the countries that are more sort of technologically advanced. Blockchain technology, in my opinion, is going to do a very similar thing in the sense that it very much is revolutionizing how things are done. Why would you put your money in a bank or a savings account where you could get like 0.5% interest for the average person, that is, where essentially you could put your money in a stable coin that is tethered to your fiat currency of choosing, and you can get, significantly better interest rates, and that's not including anything like DeFi or anything like that. So that's the opening sentiment that I want to start on. That's where this space is going, essentially. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. Now, you guys know I follow the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. We're going to stick to kind of macro timescales for the kind of purpose of this video and showing you what's happening. What I want to do, guys, very quickly is take a look at 2017. I've put the 20 EMA in here. We talk about it a lot because it's a very good indicator, and it's really going to predict to us what we think is to come. Now let us take a look at 2017, guys. and what happened. So if we take this off auto, so the start of 2017 is here, guys. Let's put a line on it. Let's try and thicken that up. So the red line is the start of 2017. You can see how this EMA reacts, essentially. It acts as support. The same thing is happening today. And what I want you all to take note of, guys, is every time we come down and we touch that EMA and we kind of bottom out, it's followed by an explosive move to the upside. So you can see this one was in March. The next one was in June. And then you have consistent pullbacks like we've just been through, like I've made sure to come on here every single day and tell you, the subscribers to this channel, because I don't want anybody getting shaken out here. You need to develop those diamond hands. Every time those pullbacks are finished with, you see a more significant move to the upside, guys. And thus you have the turn of 2018, which essentially kicks off a bear market. The Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory is very much centered around the New Year's. Obviously, you know, a lot of altcoins kind of topped out in early January, but everything follows Bitcoin. We know that. You can look at the structure of Bitcoin and compare it to other altcoins. Here we have Ethereum and Cardano. This is how essentially we dictated the price of Ethereum, and we've been spot on about it. For those of you who've been following the channel, you will know. And the same with Cardano. We knew what was coming because we looked at this on a macro scale, and we've been here for 4 years now. We've seen an entire Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. We're going to touch on the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory in a second once I've got this point across. Now you enter a bear market, and that EMA then flips to resistance. And you keep coming up and you're hitting your head on it until we bottom out. We saw the first kind of sign of us bottoming out back in we technically bottomed out on December the 10th, nearly a year later after Bitcoin's high. And then you consolidate. You have the halvening in between here before you then enter a bull market. And you can see how the EMA is acting and how we're staying above it. And we're literally following 2017 to a T. And certainly as far as the EMA is concerned, 2013 as well, because there's been 3 bull markets for crypto, or certainly for Bitcoin, 2013, 2017, and today, 2021. So what you can see, guys, is you've come down, you have perhaps bottomed out. Every time you run away from this line, usually you will meet it, certainly in the first half of the year, until the second half of the year and everything gets crazy. We'll look at that as well. But you can see every time you come away from it, you come back, you run away, you come back down, you bottom out, you run away, you come back down, you bottom out before then a move to the upside. I've said for a long time now, Bitcoins go to $100,000. That is a largely pessimistic opinion or price prediction, in my opinion. I think Bitcoin is going to far surpass $100,000. The stock to flow models, if you look at everything, you can kind of see that, Bitcoin is really poised for some fantastic momentum. Now, a lot of people won't invest in Bitcoin, and I'll tell you why. It's very apparent to me that everybody's here for the money, or certainly the majority of people are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Most people will say, oh, you're only here for the money. That's terrible. You're a bad person. The reason I got into cryptocurrencies back in 2017 in a rather spectacular manner and learnt a lot was for the money. And then the more I kind of researched it, the more I fell in love with it. Certainly Bitcoin and the idea of a trustless peer-to-peer kind of payment system where, it was a fair system of valuing something. And that's all money is. Your fiat currency, it really isn't backed by anything. Go and I urge all of you, if you're interested in this kind of subject, go and look at the US dollar and how that came into existence. Very, very revealing things. It's like reading a novel with all these twists and turns. And at one point France wanted their gold back, and the US kind of gave it to them, and then every other country did. And they said, "Hang on, we haven't got the gold." So Nixon was forced to sort of take the dollar off the gold standard, even though it was fractional anyway. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but that's essentially what Bitcoin is. And I fell in love with those ideologies. They aligned with my own personal ideologies and beliefs. And I'm still here today. And that's why I've created this YouTube channel. So it's not all about price. I know that we can be quite clickbaity in some of our titles and some of our thumbnails. That's just how YouTube goes, unfortunately. If you don't do that, look at all the big YouTubers. They have outrageous thumbnails and titles. It's a bit of a shame really. I'm not going to go into YouTubers on the crypto space. I'm sure you guys know the kind of deal with that already. So essentially, what we think is going to happen is the entire market is now waking up, guys. We are approaching our kind of previous all-time highs for the entire market cap of crypto. Everything's going to go upwards. And altcoins, like I say, they just follow Bitcoin. Are going to do the same things. In years to come, you may see a flipping between Ethereum and Bitcoin. I believe Ethereum is exceptionally undervalued. I think the whole space is undervalued for what it is actually going to do and the kind of use cases that they're going to have in the future. Now, let's talk about the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory. Before I touch on some news, and the reason I'm touching on news, and I've just pulled up some news today, and it's just really highlighted just how this space is growing and at what kind of a rapid level. Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory, for those of you who don't know, is how I knew that we were going to how I kind of knew things were going to play out. We had some twists and turns back in March with the whole kind of breaking news of the situation that we're still in today, and India's really suffering with it at the moment, etc., etc. But ultimately, it's followed its old cycle very accurately. Bitcoin essentially works in a 4-year cycle. Your first year of that cycle follows the bull market blow off top in 2014, tops out in 2017, where you repeat that bull market. First year of this cycle was 2018, and it tops out this year, guys. And you are following that to a T. You can see on a logarithmic scale, it really shows it very, very clearly. And we have had prior cycles to that. And of course, 2013 was the real first bull market that we had. But, 2013, we did have like a 70% dip in the market. But you've got to remember, guys, the market was exceptionally small at that point, certainly in terms of market cap. Today, you have a lot of institutions coming into Bitcoin. It is the new thing, guys. One reason that companies are going to hold Bitcoin and soon Ethereum and soon look elsewhere into the altcoins is essentially because it doesn't hold them to pay cash on their balance sheets anymore. Fiat is a perpetual short. It loses money from the second you get paid, and that's another reason I created this channel, was because I want to educate people on this. And this very fact, and actually learning to invest your money rather than just have the fiat value of it, is fundamental to building wealth for all of you. It doesn't have to be in crypto. You could buy silver. You could buy lumber, for goodness sake. Lumber went up like 240% in a year. That shows you how weak the fiat currency is. It devalues year on year on year, and there is no signs or no evidence of that ever stopping. In fact, as a result of the whole kind of situation that shall not be named, they've had to print a lot of money. Basic mathematics, if they printed 40% of all dollars or soon 50% or whatever, basic mathematics would dictate that the money you have and the money you get paid, unless your wage has gone up by that 50%, is now worth significantly less. That's why everything is going up. And they keep going, oh, there's no inflation. Absolutely, there is inflation. Go and ask your grandparents how much they bought their house for. Value what it is today, and then work out the percentage that money that they bought that for has decreased. And you'll very soon find that the CPIs and stuff like that, Consumer Price Index, it's all nonsense, guys. It's a big hoax. It's one of the biggest Ponzi schemes that's ever been created. It serves a purpose, and I really wish, and I honestly wish that it held its value. Because ultimately I don't think it's a good thing that it's losing its value. I'm not a massive conspiracy theory guy, but I do have my own kind of views on everything. So let's quickly touch on the news, guys, and you just see that we're constantly getting bullish news. Car dealership dentist want in on Valkyrie's Bitcoin Trust. You saw that Germany onboarded loads of people and essentially opened the floodgates for institutions to invest in crypto. South Korea crypto legal framework is insufficient, so everybody's now, you see this with XRP getting sued by the SEC. Now going, hang on, we better start regulating this and start actually making this a kind of going from a rogue asset to a more of a traditional asset. We're seeing that in the US, we're seeing that in the UK, we're seeing that in a number of places, guys. What's happening, guys, is similar thing to the internet. People ignored it, they try and ignore it, they don't really want to get on board with it, and then they don't have a choice other than to kind of get on board with it. So that's really all I have for you in this video, guys. I want to love and leave you on that note. This is just a real video. No clickbait, no nothing. Just giving you an overall market view. This is for the subs out there, and this is for the people that really need to hear it. We are still in a bull market. Let's quickly recap. Bitcoin essentially is going to bounce off this EMA. When should you be worried? Well, if Bitcoin shoots all the way up, overextends its EMA significantly, and then comes back through it pierces below it, and then starts to the EMA starts to act as resistance, and you continue to go lower. That to me would indicate we are in a bear market. You are not in a bear market right now. You are going to, as we're seeing right now, bounce off this EMA and continue to make a leg upwards. And that leg that we could see, you know, I believe is going to take us over $70,000 and upwards. Who knows? You can't really put an exact price on it. You can kind of bring a fib up, but fibs are a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm going on way too much now, guys. I just want to give you a basic market overview. We've looked at Bitcoin. Why do we look at Bitcoin? Because the entire market follows Bitcoin. If Bitcoin has a bad day and decides to sell off 40%, the rest of the market is going to follow suit. You might have some pariahs and people that just, you know, some rebel altcoins out there, but ultimately that's what's going to happen. I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. I hope you found this information useful. I am going to see you in the next video. We're bringing out lots of videos today covering a wide variety of projects. This was just the first one to bring out, giving you a broad overview before we go into each individual product in more detail and cover some more news. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you appreciate the content, a like is always welcomed. Comments are welcome too. I want to know your feedback. Have you enjoyed or not enjoyed this video? Be truthful. And I'll love and leave you on that note, guys. Get subscribed to one of the fastest and realest growing YouTube channels out there, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.